Hi, so today I really wanted to talk about the third house in your zodiac chart and what it really stands for. What is the meaning of this house? So I wrote some notes just to make sure that I get everything that I have to express about this house. So the third house is an air sign house. It is ruled by an air sign planet, which is Mercury. And it is the house of communication and also curiosity. The third house is all about curiosity and the questions that we all ask when we are young and as we get older as well. So it rules your hands, the third house, your arms, and your nervous system, having to deal with Mercury. Mercury has a really big connection with the vibrations of the nervous system in the third house. So you learn to read, write, observe things, form an opinion here, and articulate them to your social environment in the third house. So basically the way someone would express themselves verbally or written or even on their Facebook or on any of their social medias, this would be somebody operating from their third house. This is what is being activated as they are communicating with you. So this house is really about your ability to step back as well and observe in the third house. So personal development and your efforts to expand your mental perspective are key here, because see, the third house is still a personal house. So it's basically like you're observing things and you're taking in information and forming your own opinions here in the third house, because it is ruled by Gemini. So the mind is working dualistically in this house. So your earliest environments with your siblings, your aunts, your cousins, your neighbors are also seen in this house, and anybody that you interacted with when you were younger in your early environment that were around you, and also the people that you will interact with as well as you move on later in life. How you interact with these people later in life will also affect is also affected by the third house, because when you think about it, your siblings, your family members, and people that were close to you in your early environment as a child are the people that you learned how to communicate with and learned and observed first. This was your first interaction with words. This is your first interaction with other people. So the third house really does govern the relationship with your siblings and your relatives or anyone in your life that you personally had around you as you were growing up, and also anyone that is in your life at this moment. So your mailman can also be a part of your third house. The coffee shop down the street is a part of the third house that you probably frequent or say hi to people in that realm. So your relationships to your immediate environment is really seen in the third house. This is a house that has to deal with your day-to-day. What are you doing every day? Who are you communicating with every day? This is what this house tends to really focus its energy on. And what is it learning? What is it observing? What is it analyzing? What is it seeing in these day-to-day interactions with other people as well? So your early education is very important here in the third house. It is the domain of that. Because of your logical memory and your ability to study and learn as well is also here in the third house. So when you think about how a child learns or how you learn, this would be in the third house. How is their mental framework working? Of course, 2 planets in the third house aspects and the sign that is on the cusp of your third house will also give you kind of more flavor about this person and how they feel comfortable expressing themselves to the natural world or to their environment, to their natural environment. So when you think about even like children, when they're learning how to count, usually it is the third house, it's the mind that's working here. So when children are learning how to count, they're using their fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, using the hands. Your early form of education, when you're learning arithmetic and mathematics, usually a lot of children use their hands because the third house rules that as well. So it's really about like counting on their hands. This is how you see the dualistic nature of the mind in the third house, how the child is processing information and how you, as you grow, process this information as well with your environment. So how you travel day to day is also another part of the third house. So day to day, how you travel, whether you're going to work or whether you're going to school or just in your regular day, just how do you get around, whether you're walking. Biking is ruled by the third house. taking the train, taking the bus, or the third house can also rule your technical devices, because some people don't have to leave home nowadays in this society to go to work. Some people work from home. So it can also rule your technical devices like your computer and your phone, and how you communicate with the world, and how you travel with the world, basically, to your social environment, because your social environment can be the world in the third house as well, because it's looking at the ninth house. Third house looks at the ninth house in the chart. So basically, it's about expanding and growing, opening up your social environment. The third house, you're communicating, you're talking, you're meeting all these different people from different parts of your community or your neighborhood or just in your area. And in that, you're making links in the third house to also the greater world, people that come from different places, looking at the ninth house, looking at travel, looking at your foreign lands, looking at higher education, because remember, third house is kind of like early childhood education, going to school, learning arithmetics, learning about the basics. And the ninth house is that higher knowledge. So how you basically obtain the knowledge in the third house will tell you how your ninth house is going to be activated as well. So yeah, you're basically connecting and sharing ideas with the greater world in the third house, if you choose to also activate that ninth house in the third house symmetry is here. So the sign, like I said, ruling your third house is going to add flavor to it. So if you have, let's say you have your sun in the third house, this is somebody that's going to really love mental activities and social pursuits in life that have to deal with connecting with other people and verbally expressing themselves. So like a reporter or a journalist, you would usually see these kind of people with sun in the third house. Or if you see someone that likes to blog a lot or some degree to that, it depends on the aspects that person's Mercury was making at the time of the birth of as well. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can remember to state about the third house. Yeah, I think that's all that I can think about. So your third house is your mental dictionary. And how do you choose to use that mental dictionary when you're communicating with your immediate and your social environment as well? So this is Aquila for my interpretation of the third house. If you like what I'm saying, the vibrations that are coming from me in explaining this third house, and if you would like to book a reading with me, my email will be on the bottom of the description box, and I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye.